Guys, gals and non-binary pals, it's escalated. Yes, next, welcome back, my name's Jack. So I absolutely jumped the gun thinking this post wasn't getting any further updates. For those unacquainted with these events, feel free to watch the last video, it's basically the first half of that. But to simplify, we'll get a bad roommate situation that's made the OP resort to bringing in their own furniture since they're apparently banned from the roommate furniture, which, as you can see, takes up the entire space. So she's brought in a couch of her own, and as we explain a little bit further on, another couch, because frick them! There's also a lot of extra details to summarize through, so let's go through that now. Just to quickly bring up some of the things y'all said in the previous video. And just quick thank you all to you who loved and appreciated the stupid extra editing I did in the last video. I'd love to do more of it, but I also know that sometimes I can be a bit too perfectionist and it would take ages to release a single video, like maybe once a week sort of thing. So I try to avoid that, but you know, when I do those silly edits, it's genuinely so much fun. A few of you mentioned things like, this woman's worried about her kids living here, yet it seems more like this space doesn't accommodate them anyway, like this mother is being a bad parent in that regard in the first place. And I don't blame you, at the time we'd think that could be the only criticism this mother could get, right? Well, turns out shoving her 3 kids into this 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment, of which one of the bedrooms is used by an entirely separate couple, is just one of this mother's bad choices. Now, I won't lie, this rant is hella messy, so I'm just going to decipher most of it for us. So in the last few days, the OP ended up finally coming downstairs to throw out their trash and check to see if the mother had moved it, as in the couch. Well, she ended up moving the white couch into the corner against the fireplace, if you can see where the fireplace is in the picture. Just there, in case that isn't clear. Shoved it in the corner against her TV stand. Her small kid was playing by the TV. I went to the couch after I threw out my trash and slowly started moving it back. Well, the mother came out of the kitchen and said, "Excuse me, we are watching TV." I said, "That's unfortunate, because my couch cannot be in front of the fireplace. It's against the rules, as well as having anything block any doorway or sliding doors." So she tried to grab and move my couch while I was still moving it. I said, "Do not touch my couch. You said not to touch your couch, and I haven't done so do not touch my couch again. I am moving it whether you like it or not." So she then moved herself to her couch to continue doing her laundry. She continued to complain that she's watching TV and that the couch is in the way. And I continue to say that that really sucks, because all of your things are in the way, and this cannot be blocking the fireplace at all. I continued that if you don't want it here, then we will be paying less rent, since all of your stuff is taking up most of the living space. Now, she was talking a lot under her breath, then said, "You're tripping, I'm not paying schmack," after I said we would be paying less. I started walking upstairs, but decided I needed to record our interaction on what's going on, and came back down to continue to say on video, "Hey roommate, you have all the kitchen space, you have all the common space area, and you're using it as a second room. Now you're moving my couch because you want to watch TV? Because all of your things take off the whole communal space? You should probably move your TV and put it upstairs, and put your couch in the garage or storage, because it's for personal use. I mean, this living room is for all of us, after all." Well, she continued to say that she will not be moving anything at all. I continued with saying, "Well, we're paying equal rent. So from now on, you'll be paying more rent, because this is crazy. This is ridiculous. You have most of the kitchen and downstairs." Well, she huffed under her breath like, "As if." And then she said, "I'm not getting storage, you're tripping, and I'm not moving anything." And look, this back and forth continues of, "Don't touch my stuff, I'm gonna touch your stuff, no, don't do it. Ooh. Fight, 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 kiss, kiss, you know, all that stuff." After all that, she called me a dumbass hoe in front of her child. I said it right back, and she ended it with, "Go back to your room." My boyfriend and I ended up leaving shortly after. So I'm going to escalate to the office tomorrow to figure out my next steps. Look, her kids are in no way at fault, but she's making terrible choices that will land her and her kids evicted as well. We are still moving out as soon as possible. My boyfriend recommended we get a camper in case things do come to worse, because I only see it escalating from here. We will be home in a few hours to see how it's going, but like I said in a prior post, if I do remove the couch, she will be paying more. If rent is late, it's late. Oh well. So after that rant in the comments came this post. And I know it says final update, but it technically wasn't. And that's when we come across this new little addition. Look at the little guy. Hello. Aren't you a cute little green couch, you? The rest of these photos merely just being a screenshot of the comment we just read, with the OP adding on, "We got home yesterday night to my couch in the fireplace position again." I'm like, Okay, today I picked up a green love seat and moved my couches in place. Yes, it's petty, but it's all I can do for now. And I ended up calling the leasing office. After I told her all my issues with her and if someone were to be smoking in the home, she said it's all a personal matter and issue, really, and that if I really wanted to, we can call the police, but it's only going to affect both tenants and we'd both get evicted. Basically, everything she is doing is between us, and every issue she has with us is also between us, unless we force one or the other to move out. She's making it unbearable and broke our agreement between us when all I had been was respectful towards her, and I apologized to her immediately when I made mistakes. Going forth, I'm just going to keep adding things to the home that are basically free just to fill up the home because there's no reason for her to be comfortable if I can't be. And I won't be paying the full month's rent going forth since she won't be moving her furniture. Basically, we can put in complaints about each other, but in the end, if one of us is breaking the lease, we will both just get evicted. I'm sure she knows this and is acting smugly. She is completely avoiding any kind of compromise or space. If you think I'm in the wrong, then you can go talk to the witch. And here's the part where you can ponder if she cares truly about her kids' safety versus just wanting an excuse to kick out these people. She openly told me that she used to smoke in front of her kids a lot. She has weed stickers all over her laptop and a full-blown gravity bong in the garage for all of them to see, which is notable considering she had a huge tiff about the kids possibly seeing one of OP's carts in the kitchen. After all, I feel like there's a big difference between a child stumbling into someone's lingerie versus stumbling into someone's BDSM dungeon. To add to that, she let a man live with her and her family for 2 years where she hasn't even met his 2 kids to this day, all while he was married. And those kids were from his last marriage. And when she told me that story, she was so proud and happy. Like, dude, your own older daughter looked at you crazy. And she still had this man over to the new apartment when I told her I was uncomfortable with him coming around. She told me she drove up 2 hours for a booty call for this guy. Oh, but yet I'm the environment she doesn't want around. Absolute lunatic. Thanks for listening to my story. I will try to make the most of my situation going forth. So yeah, not exactly any resolution, more so confirmation that the OP is going down the martyrdom route of sorts. Playing Jenga with any sort of free furniture out there to build up in the living room space. It's not surprising they've resorted to this hostility when you feel like this coming home all the time. Like every time they get home from work, the kids and her are sprawled all over the living room space and using the dining area, while we have been forced to keep retreating to our rooms this past week. And let's remember, it's further ironic this mother is upset with them possibly ruining the dynamic they agreed to when she's ruined it herself. OP says, we had a verbal agreement since her kids were going to be coming 4 to 5 days a week. The only reason we agreed to move in with her was because she said her kids aren't with her 40 or 50% of the time. Adding, we are in no way making the kids uncomfortable. The day she started and said all of those things about trying to evict me, her kids and I were watching movies downstairs. I even made cupcakes and gave some to them. This is literally all her taking things personal when things were going smoothly. And to tease us some more info on what's happening with the kids living there and how they sleep and such, while collecting evidence, the OP does have evidence too of not just the gravity bong, but also her bunk beds that cover the sliding doors in her room, which, as we've been informed, is not allowed in this place. So yeah, those of you thinking it's unsafe or unhealthy living standards for these kids, you are absolutely right. But also, that said, looking past the a-hole behavior this mother is exhibiting, what else is she meant to do as a mother here in this situation? She's got 3 kids to be responsible for. I doubt any human being would avoid getting away with this if they were in the same boat. Like what, she's just going to be homeless instead? She'd rather her kids have to live in a car all the time than to sneakily have them share a room? I don't know. It's like, I think OP's totally fair to be petty like this in response, but I also blame the mother for behaving quote-unquote illegally in this circumstance. But anyway, that's all the info we have for now. Let me know your thoughts on this all. Do you have more sympathy for the mother in the circumstance now, or less? We'll wrap it up with one final short update to the situation. We are discussing the situation kind of. My 2 couches kind of won the argument today. She is willing to negotiate rent prices because they are in the way of her TV. I told her we are moving out by February or March. We are still discussing the living situation because it was agreed between us her kids wouldn't wouldn't be home around 40 to 50% of the time, and that's the only reason I agreed to move in with her in the first place. So I still had my peace of mind between home and going to work with children. Hopefully things get better going forward since she's willing to kind of work with me. Moral of the story, I hope Emily and I never break up so I never end up having to resort to housemates ever again myself. This is just, it's just exhausting to read about it. Could you imagine being a part of it too? I've read some of your comments on this whole situation too, and yeah, wow. Just like how I feel it should be mandatory that people have to work in hospitality before they get to actually be serviced in hospitality, I think before becoming a housemate, you need to apply for some sort of etiquette license. I just stumbled across this story that needs to be told the same way you tell kids about the dangers of going outside at night. Please help. My roommate doesn't use toilet paper. Now, first, we have two full separate bathrooms. Mine is in my room, and my roommate's is in the hallway. It also has the laundry machines. Neither bathroom or toilet has a bidet. Separate showers.
Hi, hello, this is definitely God. Get a bidet, humans! That sexy narrator man, Jack got one, and it's great. It will scare the heebie-jeebies out you at first, but don't worry, just push through it. It'll be fine. Seriously, you will save so much more toilet paper.
Oh, thanks God. God, everybody. So my partner and I took on a roommate several months ago to help with bills, and I don't think I can live with him anymore. I have always bought and stocked all the toilet paper in the house, and I started noticing that he just doesn't use it. Then I checked the roll by the toilet, and I realize I'm the only one who has used it. Barely any was missing from the roll, and it has only been replaced once since he moved in. I do most of the house cleaning, so I pay attention to things that aren't clean, and I noticed stains that appeared only on his doors. Yellowish brown to black spots surrounding the handle and the bottom half of only his bedroom door and bathroom door. Nowhere else in the apartment really has these marks, besides a few spots on the whole closet doors. So, after realizing the toilet paper mystery, I feel extremely disgusted living with him. Not to mention, he wears his shoes in the house. I clean twice a week, and his bedroom and bathroom stink. Worse, he leaves the washing machine open and the bathroom odors get trapped in the machine filters. My clothes come out smelling like crap. Okay, that is genuinely disgusting. The scent of his theoretical poo trapping in your clothes fibers. This is truly my nightmare scenario. I recently had finally received an opportunity to move out of an abusive home which was filthy. It made everyone sick and smelled like a dumpster. I don't know if I can take this anymore. The smell of his room is so potent, it clouds the hallway. I've tried talking to him about this stuff, but it's like he doesn't believe me? Maybe he's just stubborn, but he will literally argue with me over it. He wore his shoes in from the rain over the floors I had just mopped, and he said his shoes weren't dirty because it's raining. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, does he think mud is cleaner than water or something because the mud's technically wet? Wait, what am I saying? That doesn't make sense. No, like, dude would probably mistake a pee bottle for lemonade because they're yellow and they have a salty taste. I don't know what to do. My partner hates conflict and they were friends for a long time. He also moved several states to live with us and doesn't know anyone here. So we both feel awful about potentially finding a new roommate. Not to mention trying to find one who is respectful. Is there a reasonable explanation for this? Could he only poop at work even if he's off 2 days? But then how would the odors get in his bathroom in the first place? I really need advice. Maybe a neuralizer. Now, with all the attention the story gets, the OP does come back in an edit. They are acknowledging many's immediate reaction to call them doormats, citing it's kind of just who they are as people due to their life experiences and the struggles they are going through. Regardless, they do appreciate everyone's advice, no matter how harsh they are all being. I mean, when their partner is literally suffering nightmares over what the roommate's reaction would be, considering the roommate is a person possibly smearing their feces around the place, yeah. Wow! The OP and their partner must be some real fluffy, foot-massaging doormats. Honestly, actually makes them sound really good, even though that's not something you should aspire to be, but, you know, in a way, everyone would love to have doormats that massage your feet. Damn it. But yeah, the worst thing was as they were typing out this story, they didn't even begin to ponder that it might be actual feces, like aroma getting into their clothes. They thought it was just normal odors, like body odor and stuff, because a comment brings up that, hey, it might be poo remnants, and the OP... Oh my god! Indeed. So that's how it all began 9 days ago. There is an update. 5 days later, warning, gross. If this was a slasher flick, this is the part of the movie where the murderer explains how they killed their victims. But strangely enough, I guarantee you will feel more grossed out here than in that movie. All I can say is, wow. I read every comment and presented the post to my partner, and unfortunately, he spiraled. I understand he needs to have my back on this, and he does. He just has his own personal things in the way. He doesn't have a lot of practice with healthy conflict, but he's getting the treatment and coping mechanisms he needs now. Before you start, yes, I paused the situation and took care of my partner. Both had struggles that affect the other, but we come to understand each other and learn from it. Relationships are a process. There's no finite definition of your partner. We made a promise to... Girl, that's great you're looking for your partner, but there's some more major things going on right now. There's more Schmidt here than just Schmitty feelings, you know? One might tell you to cut the crap with pandering for each other, but considering how much crap is all over the place right now, that's gonna take you a few hours. So first, I cleaned out the washing machine. Masks, gloves, bleach. Hell, if I had full PPE, I would wear it all day. Then, the roommate used it the next day. And again, it smelled like feces and the filter was clogged with nastiness. Partner marked sorry, just this sneaky tactic. Partner marked roommate's toilet paper roll to be sure he wasn't using a single square. And it hasn't been touched after 3 days. I spent every day airing out the house, and when he would come home or open his bedroom door, moldy, wet diaper smell clouded the house again. I asked him, again, to remove his shoes in the house. He did at the moment, then sent me a passive-aggressive text about it and went back to ignoring the simple wish. Now, today was the first day he's been off, so when he came in the house, my partner told the roommate we needed to talk, then let me take the lead. I said, we've noticed some disturbing things and do not want to live together anymore. You are putting our health, safety, and the security of our home at risk. You're destroying the washing machine, and we could lose the apartment over it. Well, he blew up. Absolute hissy fit if I've ever seen one. He was mad we didn't bring this up earlier. Well, I've asked him to take care of the smell, clean up after himself, and remove his shoes multiple times before, and he ignores me. He was also mad we discussed the issue before talking to him. I mean, hello, we're married. He said he could see this coming for a long time and stormed out of the house. Well, then why are you so mad? If you knew this was gonna happen. You can't be upset about feeling blindsided then act like, I knew this was happening all along. He came back in a minute later, knocking stuff off the wall on accident, and began yelling at us some more. He took a huge chance moving here. Well, so did we by living with you. He didn't get a chance to correct his behavior before we decided to kick him out. Again, I've raised multiple issues to him. He just ignores me. Then he started projecting and exposing himself. He's upset we have conversations in the next room without him. What? He's upset that I have issues with him and don't talk about them. He's upset because there's been tension between us. I asked, what is he talking about? Because I've had no ill will towards him and he's been giving me the silent treatment. Then it was somehow my fault I didn't bring up the issue and ask him what was wrong? I disputed every single argument he had. It was all projection. He stormed off again. Then returned to beg us to sign another lease with him. I was mad he's still pressing this. I projected my voice and said, I do not want to live in this situation anymore, period. I have a respiratory infection from your literal feces. And my voice started cracking, as if on cue. Partner and I have had recent issues breathing because of the home. The roommate was silent, so the partner said it. Be honest, do you wipe? Roommate, yes! With what? Roommate panicked. The paper towel and then I get it in the shower. If the light inside me wasn't already dead, it would be now. The truth has come out. What was very obvious to Reddit and baffling to us has been confirmed. He defecates, stands up, then gets in the shower and lets the water trickle down. As one commenter put it, bleach. Bleach everywhere. I will be spending the next few days washing all my clothes again. If he decides to cause any more issues, the leasing office has my back with a 2-week eviction notice. I asked about this before we accepted a roommate. I didn't disclose any details of the situation. Thankfully, he's resigned and said he would be out as soon as possible. It only took me saying this is beyond not acceptable 3 times. He also took his frickin' shoes off. Hooray! Now, to the 3 or 4 people who felt personally attacked by my post, can we talk? It's okay to wipe your butt and wash it with soap. It won't hurt you or turn you gay, and unless you have serious difficulties, you won't get feces on your hands. You wonder why you don't have friends or a romantic partner? It's because there's a toxic gas cloud in your pants. That's why you have issues peeing too. Seriously, get help. You're putting your health and others' health at risk. I, for one, fully endorse all the men out there who find it intimidating to practice basic hygiene. I'd argue my ability to be hygienic has been one of my strongest assets for having a partner. Seriously, guys, don't wash yourselves. Specifically anyone around my age range and with my similar looks and personality. And edit to add, there was no hygiene really at all. So the washer smelling was because of his poop remains, or remnants. The marks on the doors have to be from a lack of hand washing and scratching down there.
Petition to rename the sub r/Schmitty roommates.
God, and people in the comments really get into the science of it all. Like regarding how the smell has traveled and the remnants gotten all over the place. If he just rinsed in the shower, did he bother to dry himself or did it dry and crust and flake off all over the house?
We'll explain. Oh god.
I hope you're not watching this during lunch. I don't believe for a second he got in the shower every time he pooped, or there wouldn't be an odor pouring from his room like that. I believe the smell in the washer is from his undies that are just caked in fecal matter. Writing that out just disgusts me. Oh, and then there's this explanation, which I'm not going to read out loud, okay? It's just that when you water over feces, it doesn't just go away, it smears. It makes it more soft and squishy. It's not like sand. You can't just wash off like the rocks. It turns into a sloppy paste. And when you are a male who grows a lot of hair in those regions, obviously you're just gonna get caught in the hair, isn't it? God damn. Wipe your asses, men! But just like any horror movie, folks, the story doesn't end with an entirely happy ending.
Ladies and gentlemen, this guy is now out there looking for a new living situation, possibly in your town.
How about this magical scenario, where living homeless in a car is considered a better option for the OP? I share a wall and bathroom with a perverted, dirty alcoholic and smoker who likes to pee everywhere and frick his mattress knowing I can hear him well. I'm 27 female and my life is challenging enough, and now I've been living next to this perverted creep, 50-ish male, for 9 months. Yes, walls are paper thin and the floor squeaks when you breathe. But I won't pretend that starting your morning hearing the sound of alcohol bottles and him coughing his lungs out like he has tuberculosis doesn't affect my mental state. He had COVID at least once, and the only way I found out was because he was arguing on the phone about it and I could hear it in my room. I had lived here for 3.5 years when he showed up in our clean bathroom. The first thing he did was pee all over the toilet and shave over the sink counter and leave it like that. Absolutely doesn't care. My landlord told me, "It's your problem you can't use the bathroom." He then broke the shower wall sometime in late summer and my landlord fixed it, saying it's wear and tear. So I'm half convinced this landlord is friends with this 50-year-old man, because there is no way a landlord would be so forgiving to a tenant destroying their property. Hair, pee, feces, blood, more hair so the sink doesn't drain, more unknown biohazard bodily fluids all over the walls. I removed my bathroom rugs and shower curtain, left the liner the first week because I was afraid he would use it to wipe himself when he's done with my toilet paper. He also doesn't wash his hands and lies to me that he has soap in his room. Like, dude, I can hear you pee and flush and open the door and enter your room while the toilet is still flushing. Despite this, he talks to women from dating websites, describing how he is a West Coast boy and how he wants to form a genuine connection. I can hear him pop 4 to 6 bottles of beer a day. I am not exaggerating. This person worked in healthcare all the time and just got fired, judging by what I hear in my room against my will. That was all just the context, the pretext, so to speak. Now is the actual straw that breaks the camel's back. Mid-October, I get home after work and immediately notice strong mildew pee smell in the corridor just as you enter the floor. I wash my hands in the kitchen, downstairs bathroom, so I would use the shared bathroom only to shower. But if it's not clean enough, I would go to the gym and shower there. I texted the landlord immediately, thinking that the mold problem had got out of hand, wondering if the roof is leaking, etc. The next morning, I come out to use the shower. The bathroom door is locked. I text the landlord asking if there's an issue with the bathroom. You know, maybe like the last time when he broke the wall. Landlord comes to open the door and tells me to throw another peed up rug away, because this This piece of work peed not only all over the toilet, but all over the bathroom floor, walls, etc., and left it to rot. The housemate's solution was to lock the bathroom door. The pee vapor spread through the entire floor in less than a minute after the landlord unlocked the door. The landlord even laughed at me, saying something about the princess treatment after I couldn't handle the reek.
Yeah, right? Imagine getting upset over a biohazard. You wuss.
I mean, Jesus Christ, this man doesn't deserve to be living as a housemate. They need to be in a, hospice? I thought I would have it in me to talk about how he moans when he humps the mattress, but writing and reliving this, I am simply disgusted with myself, with my life, that I have to live like that. The entire situation has already caused me to endure financial and employment losses, to the point that the only option is to sell my belongings and live in my car. It's 12:27 p.m. He just popped another bottle, and I am here trying to eat organic eggs and use SPF before I step outside. Absolutely freaking hate myself. My heart goes out to the OP in that bit there. You can tell there's a feeling of disgust in how they are clearly trying to take care of themselves, trying to make the most of this living situation. And then there's this guy almost encouraging her to just give up like he clearly has. It's like that thing how you are the accumulation of the 6 people closest to you. You know, you will habitually behave and act like those you surround yourself with. And if you're being surrounded by absolute a-holes and people who treat themselves like trash, then yeah, you are just inevitably going to become like that yourself. Or hopefully your disgust and resolve for him will strengthen you to be in the complete opposite of the pendulum. Now, the landlord isn't not the biggest piece of work, because they do apologize, but oh my god, is their methods to tackle this situation just fucking ridiculous. Oh my god. So the landlord apologized, saying that I'm a good tenant, but also said that he's going to get rid of both of us if the problem persists. Basically, he wants to raise rent for everybody to cover cleaning services for the bathroom and kitchen every other week. Question is, if said roommate poops in the bathtub or throws up in the sink, I just have to commute to the gym till the next cleaning day then. Going on to argue that like, yeah, we're all dirty to a degree, but this bathroom situation only began occurring when this guy moved in and destroyed the cleanliness that she was supplying to the place. To which someone in the comments offers a great suggestion to kind of get the landlord on your side, taking it from the perspective of profit and money. If the landlord is initiating this plan, point out that kicking him out first would help raise the rent for his next tenant. If your terrible roommate is causing a terrible living environment, no one will answer his ad to justify living in those conditions unless the rent is low enough, since he's devaluing the place. See, the landlord cannot just kick the both of you out without due cause. If you have evidence, pictures and videos, etc., of what it was like living there before this roommate came, then you have a case of unjustified eviction. Once your roomie is gone, find a new place with other roommates, because having a landlord that doesn't care about their current and good tenants is not a good landlord. Other worst case scenario ideas are also suggesting things like going to private women's shelters until you can get back on your feet and take a breather to recoup. They personally stayed in one for over a year, and they got a bathroom, fridge, kitchen, accommodation. They have people who help assist you find new housing and just give you a breather before having to start all over again. Overall, what do you think is the best situation here yourself? For what it's worth, the OP does reach out about this idea, and they happily accept giving a lending hand, which is very nice to see. Anyway, we might end things there. Thank you as always for listening and watching. Until next time, you be good, love your face, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.